Where to begin? If we are close enough when the other person starts yawning, we try to get as much of our hand in their mouth as possible. People ask Reddit, what's the weirdest thing that you and your partner do together? Before we had a kid, we used to strip to avoid running out for anything. It started with you run out, I don't have any shoes on. Then one day I mentioned we were out of milk, and neither of us had shoes on. My husband immediately dropped his pants. After that, every time one of us would say oh, we're all out of blank, we would exchange a quick glance and immediately start stripping to see who could be the farthest from ready to leave the house. Good times. ETA, this got way more attent. Also, yeah, we used to wear shoes in the house back when we lived in grimy apartments. Even now, since we got a dog, we have in-house shoes and outside shoes to avoid stepping in water slobber drool spots and socks. I'm seriously considering starting this up again. Our son is 8, so as long as we don't go beyond underwear, it should be just the right amount of embarrassing, winking face. My wife and I have an unspoken thing we've done to each other for 10 plus years where we sneak up behind each other, grab the other's butt, and if the grabby's butt tenses up, the grabber will whisper fear. If the grabby goes without tensing up, then it's usually oh, no fear for you. I have no idea where it came from or how it started, but it's a joke that's endured almost as long as our marriage and made for some funny moments over the years. Play hide and seek. He'll randomly disappear and I'll find him hiding in my closet or in the bathtub waiting to jump out and scare me. Once he tried hiding under the bed and fell asleep. I found him only because of his snore. Reply: our neighbors kind of do that, but it's always one-sided. She will have too much wine and disappear. It's the husband's job to locate the giggles in the house as to where she's hiding. More than once he's found her asleep behind a piece of furniture or in a closet. It's cute. You guys are cute. OMG, totally brings me back. My parents would do stuff like this all the time. Mom would typically have a few tequila sodas in the afternoon. Dad would come home and then hide and go seek began. He really liked to hide at the bar down the street, but the last time he hid so well we still haven't found him. Whenever either of us take off our ring for any reason, shower, washing dishes, gardening, etc., the other will grab it and put it back on them while proposing. We have probably proposed to each other several thousand times by now. I used to mess up the name of the month on our dry erase calendar, and now it has turned into us constantly doing it wrong on purpose to see who notices. Right now it is apparently September. Reply: one time I accidentally wrote beans on a frozen bag of rice, and since then everything we label as beans. Onion? Leftover pie? Half an avocado? All beans. I just imagine a house guest coming over and being profoundly confused at your whole refrigerator setup, and I can't stop laughing. Enter the thread thinking him too weird to date. Leave the thread thinking him too normal to date. Lamau. Reply: you just haven't met the person that you feel comfortable letting all the weird come out around. You know that filter that you normally use to be a respectable human? Yeah, imagine that there's one person that loves you so much that you can't even try to keep the filter up. Good times. The best of times. God, that makes me miss it. You never realize you wear a mask around people until you meet the one. We'll keep each other. I'll be doing the dishes, for example, and my fiancée will come up and hug me from behind all cute like. Then if I have to walk, she'll shuffle her feet really quickly to match me, and I'll have to move around cleaning the kitchen with this quick-stepping weirdo on me like a cape. Sometimes, we take the t-shirt we're wearing and trap the other person's head under it, holding them to our stomachs and telling them that they are now safe. Reply: lol. I have a modified version of this where I try to crawl into my husband's shirt through the bottom while he's wearing it, pop my head out of the head hole so we're a two-headed beast, and say hi to him. According to Greek mythology, humans were originally created with 4 arms, 4 legs and a head with 2 faces. Fearing their power, Zeus split them into 2 separate parts, condemning them to spend their lives in search of their other halves. Smile. We get BarkBox for our dog, and a few months back the theme was Space Jam. So we ended up with this tiny stuffed LeBron that our dog couldn't care less about. So now we try to prank each other with LeBron. We have gotten multiple pics of each other sleeping with LeBron just chilling there. It's quite entertaining, if not bizarre. Reply: The absurdity of this one made me actually laugh. Thank you for sharing. This is so cute. One of my dogs loves the LeBron toy. I always encourage her when she's gnawing on his face. Get him, my partner basically worships LeBron. He does not find this amusing. We make up lore for our cat. One of us will say something stupid and random like he's a stone cold businessman, and the other will build on it, and we'll just keep escalating until one of us dies of laughter. And now that same cat is a chicken sauce businessman, a celebrated figure in Japan, and a renowned soccer player, complete with a fleshed out backstory. Edit, holy shit. Didn't expect this to get as many replies as it did. I'm having a blast reading through everything, and it's awesome we're not the only ones, lol. To all those asking about a children's book. I actually made a magazine, in the style of Forbes, about my cat and gifted to myself for Christmas, but now I'm really keen on commissioning a children's book down the line for sure. Reply. My cat used to run guns and meth for the Hells Angels. The highway was all she knew before getting locked up and picked up by this weird couple who picks up her poop and feeds her twice daily. When my wife has a hard time coming up with a word, I suggest the word penis. She says be careful, someday you're going to say that in the wrong company. Reply. When you do, and you will, come back and tell us the story, I'm sure it's gonna be good. Not up, but exact thing happened to my husband and I, much like every couple in the world, apparently, we're weird and will randomly shout words or phrases at each other that we find interesting. My husband is Korean, I'm Mexican, and he took a liking to the word, psones. So much so that he would randomly shout it throughout the day, and it was the first word out of his mouth when he woke up. Well, come time to visit my parents. We all enjoyed a nice meal. Husband is doing the dishes, and as you can guess, without warrant, he shouts psones. It's already weird that he's yelling things to begin with, but psones means nipples in Spanish. My family was shook. Husband was embarrassed. I was mortified. The incident doesn't get mentioned anymore. I don't think my family truly processed it, because it's not something you would expect from my husband. I think everyone would just rather forget it. But I remember. And I refuse to let him forget. My wife likes to pants me, pull down my pants from behind, when I'm doing things where both hands are occupied, like cooking or carrying things. I put up with it because she gets really great belly laughs every time she is successful, and I love it when she laughs like that. I text him pretending to be tech support for his Wifebot robot. I'm old, so I'm a classic model, and there are often problems with annoying downloads, our children, causing malfunctions. I guess you had to be there. Reply. This is amazing. Is it stuff like hello? This message is to inform you that your Wifebot is due for her monthly recharge. She will require 1 bottle of wine and a movie of her choice. We squeeze each other's forearms to try to get the fingers to contract to pick stuff up. My partner uses my arm as if it's a human claw crane machine. I was living above a children's daycare before I moved in with her. I would pretend to miss the crying and screaming every day when they got to play outside. She then promised to fix that for me, and at the same time some kid outside started jammering. So now every time a kid cries in our vicinity, I'll lean in and say thanks dear. It's a bit of schadenfreude, as we probably won't have any of our own, and both okay with that. Anytime one of us bends over for any reason, tying a shoe, petting the cat, etc., the other goes, "Aw yeah, that's right." He's a late riser and a metalhead, so on the weekends I stand by the bed and chant awaken. Awaken. Take the land that must be taken. Rise. If my wife and I are holding hands and we somehow end up in a handshake position, we shake vigorously and say hyperbolic business jargon like good business deal, business partner. Or production is hitting our KPIs this quarter. Done it for years, and we do actually own a business together now, but we still do this. Thank you for listening to another B-Town Reddit Stories episode. Hit the subscribe button and check out our channel for more stories. Let us know your opinion about this topic in the comments.